Hi guys, we're going to talk about Greece today, and I'm very excited because we really love Greece. We flew into Athens from Rome, very excited to leave Rome if you remember. So we flew into Athens and the flight was fine, it was only a couple hours. We got there, and usually when you fly from one country to the next, or even go on a train from one country to the next, they want to see your passport and stamp it, but apparently not when we got to Athens, because we didn't have any bags that we checked. We just had our backpacks that we carried on, and usually the line filters through customs, but there didn't appear to be anyone getting their passport stamped, so we were like, okay, we'll just leave. So we got on a train, went into city center, and started out finding our budget hotel. It was pretty much a hostel, but it was labeled as a budget hotel because it's not like a regular hotel you would have paid. It's not like a nice hotel that has all fluffy towels and everything. But anyway, it was still fine. It was great actually. It was super cheap, and it was one of the cooler places that we stayed, I think, just because it was cheap and it worked. It was great. And so we get there and we met Stefanos at the front desk, and he became a crazy person later, which I will explain later, but he was very nice at first. When we got there, we got settled in our room. We went up the crazy elevator that could only hold 2 people at a time. It was really small, and it was really old and weird, so they didn't want you to have more than 2 people in it. And it didn't have any inner doors. It only had outer doors, so when the elevator moved, you could see the floor, see the wall, see the floors changing and everything. It was kind of weird. And Jared, I think, took a little video of her being Spider-Man, suctioning, pretending to suction up the wall. It was really awesome. It was super cute. I think we still have it. I'll see if I can find it. Anyway, so we got all settled in our room, and then we went downstairs to the front desk, and we asked Stefanos, where's a good place to eat? Is there someplace close by? Where would you go to eat, Stefanos? And so he told us about George's place. Oh, George's place. And Dodger's already talked about George's place, but I'm going to talk about it some more because it was that good. It was so good. And I'm even going to go geekier than Dodger, and I'm going to show you the menu. Oh, it kept a menu. It was so good. I'm going to zoom in so you can see. That's what it looked like. And I don't know if this is going to focus, but it's got Greek on the menu. How cool is that? Super exciting. We friggin' love this place. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, we ate there at least once a day. I think there was a day we ate lunch and dinner there. It was slammin'. It was so good, really cheap food. We lived on souvlaki on a pita in Greece, and George's place provided us with the majority of those souvlaki on pitas. So it was fantastic. Thank you, Stefanos. I'm so sorry that you became crazy later, but anyway, so we ate our dinner, and I think we just chilled out. We just kind of wandered around because, if you remember, Dodger had not been feeling well. She was feeling much better when we got to Greece, but still, I think we got there later in the day, so we just chilled, right? And the next day, we had done some laundry. That was our thing. If we were gonna be in a place for a few days, we would do laundry immediately, because some of the stuff took a while to dry. We would wash things in the sink and then hang it dry. We actually swiped this really long, it was a bunch of shoestrings tied together when we were in Madrid. We were probably supposed to leave it in our room because somebody probably left it there for people to use in Madrid, but we just took it. We left it in another hostel, so we paid it forward with the shoestring clothesline, but we took it with us, and it was really handy. And so we washed a bunch of clothes right when we got there, and our room was funny. It kind of looked like, when you see pictures of old cities, and Athens was totally one of these cities where there's laundry, there's clotheslines everywhere in between buildings, and you're like, oh, that's so quaint. Athens was totally like that, and our room looked like that too, because we had the shoestring and we had all these clothes hanging on it, and it was a really little room with 4 single beds that were all pushed together. Luckily we were family, because that would have been really awkward if not, but it was kind of fun. It was almost like summer camp or something, but whatever, we liked it. It was fine. Our budget hotel provided us with breakfast as well. There's no guest kitchen, but they had a really good breakfast. So we chowed down, and then we set off on our first full day. to go see some old things. I love history. I've said it before. I probably will say it a lot in these videos. I love it so much. I love old artifacts and buildings and stories, and it's just all amazing to me, especially European history. And so Athens was really super exciting because it was the oldest stuff we saw the whole time. And so I was like, I'm gonna pee my pants. I'm so excited. It was just awesome. So on our way to the Acropolis, which the Acropolis is not one building, for those of you who don't know, it's a collection of buildings on top of one of the hills. There's a bunch of different sites. The Acropolis is one of them. So on the way, we passed like a big, huge central market that was super cool. It was like a food market, and all the restaurants and just regular, everyday people go there as well to buy things. There was just all these beautiful stalls of like meat and fish and produce and spices, and the spices ones were super cool because there's like little baskets filled with all these beautiful spices. It was super badass. I loved it so much. And we also passed a bunch of streets that had, I call them the exploding stores, because it's the stores where like the doors are open, when it's business time, and it looks like the contents of the store are exploding out. There's like clothes just hanging everywhere, and flags and little stands of twirly like stickers and whatever. There's just stuff everywhere. But it was so awesome because it's not stuff we were used to seeing. It was just different souvenirs, and some of it was just really, really cool. It was really hard not to buy a bunch of stuff. We had to be really like willpower, like, do I really need it? Because we were trying to save money, gonna be there for a long time, wanted to be able to eat food the entire trip. So finally made it to the historical buildings. Hadrian's Library was the first thing. And some of these historical sites you can just go see. They're just right there. They can't like rope everything off because there's so many things that have been excavated. And so the things that they can rope off are the things that are like up on the hill, things they can charge you admission for. So we wound our way up the hill. It was a freaking gorgeous walk. There's olive trees everywhere, beautiful day. Every picture we took, we felt like could have been a postcard. We're like, this is just so beautiful. It was so beautiful. I loved it so much. So we get to the top of the hill and we go to pay our admission to get into the Acropolis. And Dodger got in for free because she was under 19 at the time and she was a student. So that was really awesome. We were super excited about that. And we found out, and I actually saved my ticket, so I'll show you that too. It's super nifty. There's a ticket. So this used to have like 3 more. These are little pieces that get torn off, and they have the different sites on them. So there are like 5 different sites that you can go and see. Ancient Agora, Theater of Dionysus, Roman Agora, the cemetery, and the Temple of Olympian Zeus, which we didn't go see that because we could see it from far away, and honestly the Temple of Zeus is just like some columns standing up, some columns laying down. It really, and maybe it was cool close up, but a lot of people were like, don't bother, you can see it from far away. So we paid I think it was €12 for this, and what was really nifty is you have 3 days to see. You have up to 3 days where you can see all of these. That's why they like tear off. So as you go, they're like, oop, I'll tear that, I'll take it now. So that was really helpful because it's so much stuff to see. It would be really, really, really hard to cram it all in one day. You would be exhausted and you wouldn't get to look at everything properly. So that was very nice of the Historical Greek Society, whoever runs it, I don't know. The people who run the ticket booths, that was a brilliant idea. Good job. So went into the Acropolis area. Temple of Athena Nike was really cool. It had a lot of scaffolding on it, as a lot of old buildings do, for maintenance and repair, but it was still awesome. It was so cool. We took some awesome pictures there. We wandered around. It was very windy on the top of the hill, which the pictures will kind of reflect that. Our hair's like flying out, but it was pretty awesome. And then I think that might be, I think we saw that, and then I think we went down to the ancient Agora because it was like down below. It was the old marketplace, and that was my favorite. The ancient Agora, the main building, was like the best preserved of all the ruined buildings, so that was pretty nifty. And I think we saw, there was another church. I don't remember exactly what we saw on exactly what day, except for Temple of Athena Nike was the first full day, and the cemetery was the second full day. Everything else in between, I was like, what? Which day was it exactly? Because it was so cool, and I was so just like mesmerized with it all that I just really don't remember exactly what. I could probably read in my journal, but too lazy. So next day we actually went to see the rest of them, minus the Temple of Zeus. We saw the cemetery, which had a really, really cool museum within like the complex area where it was, which had newly excavated things, which is just something that I really, really love about Europe. One of the many, many things. But they're excavating things all the time. They go like to dig for utility lines, and they're like, oh, ancient Roman fort that I just found. It's just, I love that. It's just amazing. We don't find that here in America. We don't, if we dig for like electrical lines, we find dirt and rocks, maybe someone's dead pet that they buried a long time ago. I don't know. You don't find really cool stuff. So it's just really, really nifty. We picked up a car on the at the end of the second full day, and that was the car where we had to pay a big extra fee, and I was super pissed off about that. And we had to prepay for gas. That's really, really lame. But we picked up our car and we parked it overnight, and then we like took off the next morning to go other places in Greece. But that last night we ate at George's place one last time. Sad, we missed George's place. And then we went to this little market to get some treats. We thought we'll get some candy. We haven't been eating any candy or anything. We want something sweet. So went to this market and we picked out some things that looked tasty, and I found some dark chocolate wafers. I can't have dairy, but dark chocolate doesn't have dairy in it. And as soon as we got back to the hotel and we ate them, they were my new obsession. I had to find more wafers. They were so good. And when we tried to go back to the store that night, it was closed, and then we left too early the next morning to get more wafers. I was so sad, and we kept trying to find them at every store we stopped at along the way, and we could not find Greek wafers. It was so maddening, because I was obsessed. I was obsessed with the Greek wafers, and I still kind of am. If somebody wants to find me those Greek wafers and send them to me, I would love that. But anyway, so we had a really good time in Athens. Stephanos, to top off, or finish off the story of Stephanos, the day that we were leaving, the morning that we were leaving, this is how he became a crazy character. He really loved Dodger. He was obsessed with Dodger. We did not know how obsessed he was with her until the last day, when we were trying to like get ourselves in to eat breakfast and get going, and he was like trying to chat with us, and we were like, Stephanos, you're really nice, but we gotta go. And so he was like, oh, where are you going? He just kept trying to stall, and we told him, he's like, oh, you can leave her with me. And we're like, no, not gonna happen. Dodger's coming with us. She doesn't want to stay with you. We didn't say that because that would be mean, but that's what we're thinking, like, no way, we're not leaving Dodger with you. So he's like, oh, can I have a picture? And so she sat up like on the arm of the couch, and he sat down here, and he like put his arms around her, and she was like, oh, okay, this is not so bad, and started to take the picture, and he like pulls her into his lap and is like cuddling with her and everything, and she was like really uncomfortable, but she's a really, really nice person, so she wasn't gonna be like, get off of me! But I think she should have, because dude, super creepy. And so he like wanted to keep her, like wanted to pay for her in goats or something, I don't know. And she was just like, no thank you, oh my god. And I was kind of miffed at Jared, like, go save your sister. But whatever, he did not succeed in keeping her and stealing her. So we got out of there after breakfast and took off for the northern part of Greece and more beautiful things to see. So I think that's it for Athens, and we'll talk about something else next time. See you later.
Brooke, how do you do that?
I don't know. It's just my amazingness.
That's freaking amazing.
That's it.
Oh my god.
We're about to get to the door.
You'll have to show me how to do that. Oh my god.